What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Today, I'm going to share with you a style of gardening that will easily double your harvest and drastically reduce both work and effort. Let's go! In essence, square foot gardening is simple. It's like the name implies. It's about planting out the garden 1 square foot at a time. But the deeper we dig, the more we come to realize that this way of gardening is way more effective and way more versatile than it first seems. This method is perfect for beginner gardeners, yet also extremely valuable for even expert gardeners. It will give you a well-organized, easy to maintain, highly efficient garden. It's all about ease and growing more food in less space. Even for experienced gardeners, deciding how to plan out a 40-foot bed like this can be a bit overwhelming. But it's much easier if we break it down and decide what to plant 1 square foot at a time. Let me show you how I set up my wooden beds for square foot gardening. I'll also show you a cool hack on how you can set your metal beds up for square foot gardening. Plus, we'll get into some of my own secret square foot gardening techniques that will truly help you unlock the major advantages to this style of growing. The first thing to note, if you want to build your bed, make sure that the inside area where you're going to be planting is 4 feet or whatever width you want. What you don't want to do is measure from the outside and get 4 feet, or your planting area in the center, it's just not going to be correct. Because what I like to do, as you notice, is I like to put these rails at the top. They make it really convenient to be able to just sit on and reach inside your bed. Then we just take our tape measure, measure 1 foot right here, mark it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pre-drill before I put a screw in, and I have a countersink bit here. You don't have to use a countersink bit, but it just makes it sit nice and flush at the top. You can see a screw I did last year. So what we'll do is we'll just pre-drill just like that. Then I'm going to take a 1 5/8 screw. The size screw you use doesn't really matter that much. We'll take it, we'll drop it right in, almost going to sink it. Then what I'm going to do is just take a string like this. I'm just going to wrap it around my screw a few times and then just screw it down so it's flush just like that. I'll do the same thing on the other sides and then run the strings throughout the whole entire bed so I have a nice square foot grid system so I know exactly where to plant everything. If you have a metal bed and it's not exactly 4 foot or 2 foot or by the foot and you have this rounded edge, what I do is I cut out a piece of wood that's exactly 1 square foot. Then I'll take this piece of wood, I'll go over and I'll say, all right, that's about 1 square foot there. And then I'll move into here. And then that's another square foot. Then I'll go and plant it by the square foot that I create just with my finger. This way we get perfect spacing like you see with this lettuce. 4 lettuce in 1 square foot. For the radishes, I did the same thing. I took my 1 square foot block, outlined it with my finger, and then planted 16 radishes in 1 square foot. And you can see they're growing beautifully. Some small radishes are starting to form. This method truly works. Look how packed with food this 40 square foot bed is. And notice the diversity and all the different kinds of plants I'm growing. That's the first major advantage to square foot gardening. You could grow so many different kinds of crops together and they could benefit one another. It's like companion planting on steroids. Not only can you grow plants that naturally deter pests like onions and marigolds, you can also get the most out of your space by planting a crop like carrots, where we plant 16 in 1 square foot in that same bed. Think about that. Harvesting 16 carrots from only 1 square foot. Now that is truly getting the most out of your space. With all the different kind of crops growing together, it makes the whole bed better balanced because we know that there's stability in diversity, especially when the plants form beneficial connections. This 1 square foot at a time approach makes gardening super simple. And it's like that old saying goes, anyone can take something simple and make it confusing, but when you could take something confusing and really simplify it, I think that adds just so much value, and it's one of the main reasons that I think this method is just the best. Another cool thing about square foot gardening is that it's scalable. It will work just as well in a small 2x4 bed like you see right here. Plus, it'll work great in a 40 square foot bed like the one I just showed you earlier. This style of gardening works even better when you use it in tandem with a few other gardening methods. For example, growing vertically. If you want to grow a tomato plant and it's an indeterminate variety and you let it sprawl out, you're going to need about a 4-foot by 4-foot section. But if you grow tomatoes vertically, you can use the square foot method and grow 1 plant per square foot, like I do with my tomato trellis. Not only are you saving space, your plants will have better access to light, and the light is more evenly distributed throughout the plant. Plus, the plant will get better airflow. And we know that light and air are the enemy of disease, so inherently your plants are going to have less disease issues. Not to mention how easy growing vertically makes harvesting. It's easier to see when the tomatoes are ripe and a more enjoyable process when you don't have to get on your hands and knees to harvest. Another method you need to tie into square foot gardening to make sure you get the most out of it is succession planting. Ideally, you should never have an open square in your garden. When you harvest one crop, you should have another one on deck waiting to take its place. For instance, when I harvest my 16 radishes from 1 square foot, I have a pepper plant ready to go in its place. This way, I can also use time to my advantage to grow more food. After I harvested my radishes, I mixed the soil a bit, then dug my hole, added a bit of all-purpose fertilizer, and transplanted in my pepper, then watered it in. The whole process took about 2 minutes. Proper planning leads to successful succession planting. It's always a good idea to start a few extra trays or have some seedlings waiting to go in anytime you harvest something. I always have some trays of lettuce or other kinds of plants like peppers ready to go in as I harvest stuff in the spring. When you're succession planting correctly, you should be able to grow about 2 to 3 crops in one growing season per square foot. So if you have a 6-foot bed, that's really like a 12 or 18 square foot bed with the power of succession planting. Interplanting is a great way to get more out of your square foot garden as well. For instance, when planting the pepper like I did, you can stick a few quick growing crops like radish or even lettuce at the corner of the square foot. This way, you can get a harvest from that section while you wait about 2 months for your peppers to produce. When planting out your beds, you also want to make sure you're staggering your plantings. This way you could extend your harvest and you're not overloaded with too much of one crop at once. When planting carrots, I plant 1 round of carrots, then another round a week or 2 later. For lettuce, I stagger my plantings by about 2 weeks and make sure that I have some young lettuce plants in pots or in trays ready to plant. So when one lettuce is harvested, I have another lettuce to replace the one I harvested. This intensive style of planting utilizes space so well that you won't have to weed as much. The plants will be growing so densely together that the weeds won't have much access to light. Since your area of planting is small, the weeding area is small also. So if you do have to weed, it doesn't take much time at all. Before the heat comes, make sure to go by and add some mulch to your bed. If you mulch, you will rarely have to do any weeding. And we know that is the worst part about gardening. We all want to spend more time harvesting and less time weeding. Let me show you a clip from a couple years ago to give you an idea of how well square foot gardening works. Look at all the food in here. Anything you can think of. Lettuces getting close to harvest, parsley, cilantro right next to that, broccoli's getting ready. Look, slow bolt leaf lettuce. This one lasts later into the summer, even though it's getting close to harvest. More lettuces over here. We just started putting peppers in. Look at the spinach. So beautiful. We're really gonna have to start eating some of this spinach because we have so much spinach. Come to over here more. Just look at all the food. Look at this yellow Chinese cabbage. Look at the beautiful color on the center. Over here we've got some mustards planted dense too. And don't think that we don't have flowers in here. We've got some borage growing, getting ready to start flowering. And we've even got some other kind of zinnias and stuff in here too. I think that's the candy cane, one of my favorite all-time zinnias. With this style of gardening, you'll also be saving money, especially on seeds, because you'll know exactly how many seeds you need in order to get your garden planted. For instance, if you want to grow lettuce, we grow those 4 in 1 square foot. Look how perfect these look right here, the bronze mignonette. If you plant lettuce in a row, then you might have to use a bunch of seeds, then go back and thin out the lettuce just to make sure you get good spacing. But if you grow in the square foot method, you could make your little 4 holes if you want to direct sow, and then just drop your seed in. Or if you want, you could start your plants inside and then come and transplant them into the garden 4 per square foot and know that you're getting perfect spacing, like you see right here. Oh, the bronze mignonette. one of my all-time favorite varieties of lettuce. I find that growing like this also makes watering more efficient because the plants are so close together and you're growing them tightly in a bed. All you have to do is water this small area. You don't have to water like a whole entire garden. So it just makes watering a lot more efficient. Planting in this method is so structured that it saves a huge amount of time, which then you could use that time to plant out more beds, and then you're just spending the majority of your time doing the most important tasks, which allows you to grow more and ultimately gives you bigger harvests. When you're planting, you want to make sure you arrange your plants correctly so that your tallest plants are on the north side and your shortest on the south. This way, as the season progresses and the sun drops lower, you aren't having your tall plants shade out the other ones. So again, shortest plants on the south, tallest on the north. What you decide to plant in your square foot garden, that's up to you. What I suggest you do is to start simple and grow things that you like to eat. Also, sprinkle in some things that you're interested in or that will get you out in the garden more, because the more time you spend in the garden, the better your garden will do and the more experience that you'll soak up. And experience is one of the most valuable assets that we have as gardeners. That's why I suggest today you start with a garden journal. Write down when you planted everything, write down what grows well, and this will be super important because it'll help guide you in the future. When we keep a good journal, it'll help let us know problems before they arise. This way, we won't have to deal with problems or have to manage problems, which is probably the least fun thing in the garden. If we know the problem's coming, then we could try to avoid that and prevent it. And that's just a lot more fun than having to manage. For instance, if you know that cabbage white butterflies are an issue for you, and every year the cabbage worms come and they just eat at your brassicas, you can just use a cover or even just build a cover and throw a simple insect netting over top of it. This way the cabbage white butterflies can't get to your plants. Or if you can't build a cover, you can just order some BT and have that on deck to use that when the cabbage worms come. This way you could protect your plants from the cabbage worms decimating them. When it comes down to it, square foot gardening, it's incredibly valuable, it's super versatile, and it's just a great way to simplify your garden. To get the proper spacing of all the different kinds of crops, what I suggest you do is go right to the source of this gardening style, the Square Foot Gardening book. In my opinion, it's one of the best gardening books ever written. It's definitely one of the best when it comes to actually applying the knowledge into the garden. There are also some websites you can go to find the exact spacing of how many plants you should plant in 1 square foot. For instance, when it comes to bush beans, you plant 9 in 1 square foot. Carrots, it's 16 per square foot. So there's some differences when it comes to it. Even like kale, it's 1 per square foot, but I suggest you go to the Square Foot Gardening book. I have no affiliation with it or anything. It's just, in my opinion, it's such an incredible book. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. It's just a blast to make this video and to share this incredible style of gardening with all of you, because it's just been so great for me. And it's simplified gardening. It's made gardening more fun because you don't have that like stress and overwhelming thinking like, what am I going to plant in this whole bed? When you could just break it down to 1 square foot, that's all you have to focus on. It just makes it so much better and just so much more fun in general. I want to mention that we've got the Team Grow Plant Armor. This is a great one to help protect your plants before the pests start to come. It works great for cucumbers, works great for apples, and it just is fantastic all around. That natural kaolin clay. I also wanted to send a thank you to one of our new channel members, Kathy Porter. Thanks for being a part of Team Grow. Thanks for having your hand in everything we're doing out here. Also, check out some of the merch. We've got the classic Food Forest shirt. We've also got a bunch of different designs over at teamgrow.us, so check them out. And I wanted to thank everybody for your continued support and for leaving comments down below. I love reading the comments. I love seeing what all of you have to say, and it just always brings a smile to my face. It's so just incredible to be part of a community that's so encouraging, that's so loving, and it just makes me feel really good inside. So I'm really grateful for all of you. The plants have started to grow really well now that the weather started to warm up. About a week or so and I'll start getting my tomatoes in, and then a week after that my peppers, my eggplants. So things are truly heating up. The apples are swelling a little bit. The strawberries are in full bloom. Go around, take a peek at the strawberries. The strawberries truly look fantastic, and I cannot wait to come out here and grab some fresh strawberries. We're in May. This is when things really start to just go incredible in the garden. So it feels So nice to be out here being warmed by the sun. I'm just grateful for this opportunity to connect with you, to grow food, and to be able to eat it fresh from the plant. That's why you get it. That's why you gotta get a garden going if you don't have one growing right now. It'll give back more than you could even imagine. We'll catch you guys at another one real soon. We out.